Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Noble, and today we're going to be going over the 6 Samurai deck profile. So this is one I've actually been meaning to do for a while now. It just kept slipping my mind with everything else coming up and just everything going on. But we're finally here, we're doing it. Before we get into it real quick, I just want to show you guys again, I know, my other new map. This one is, a little bit so you can see, this one is Abramax, Appaloosa, and Thunder Dragon Colossus. Again, I told Paomangamats what I wanted, and they made it happen super quick in like a little over a week. Picked all the background cards. Absolutely love the single player map with zones. You guys should definitely check them out. I will link them down in the description below. Or you can get one just like this, or any kind that you want, because they can definitely make it happen. So without further ado, let's get right on into this one. So to start off with, we are playing 3 legendary 6 Samurai Kizun. So what Kizun does is, if you control a 6 Samurai monster of a different name, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is super awesome. And that's also not once per turn, which is also extremely abusable and also awesome unless you're playing against it. While you control two or more other 6 Samurai monsters, this card gains 300 attack and defense, which is cool. I mean, that's not bad, but just the fact that you can special summon it out really easily, it's just super great. Next up, we're running 2 Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai, which, if I recall correctly, is the older version of Kizun, I think, if I remember that correctly. I could be completely wrong. But what he does, if you only control one Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai, excuse me. If you control a 6 Samurai monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is in your possession, it's destroyed by an opponent's card. Target the 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard and add that target back to your hand. So easy to get out onto the field. None of this is once per turn. And he also has a great floating effect where he brings them straight back to your hand as well. Next up, we're playing triple legendary of the 6 Samurai Kageki. I remember hating this one because as soon as my buddy would summon this, I'd be like, oh crap, here we go. Because what he does is when this card is normal summon, you can special summon a level 4 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your hand. While you control a face-up 6 Samurai monster with a different name, this card gains 1500 attack, which is also really nice. I doubt you're even going in for game with Kageki though, but it is cool to have that. I'm running triple Mizuho, so you could bump Mizuho down to 2. I have seen that done. That wouldn't be an issue at all. But if you control legendary 6 Samurai Shinai, I believe is how you say it, you can special summon this card from your hand once per turn. You contribute another face-up 6 Samurai monster, then target 1 card on the field and destroy that target. And this that's soft once per turn as well, so that's definitely abusable. Speaking of Shinai, Shania Twain, I am running 3 legendary 6 Samurai Shinai. I really don't know if I'm saying that right, guys. But anyway, what this one does is if you control a legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho, you can special summon this card from your hand, and this card on the field is tributed. You target a 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard, except another copy of this card and add it back to your hand, which is also very abusable. Running 2 secret 6 Samurai Kazaru. Now, I have seen this one played at 1. In fact, my buddy Brandon played it at 1 for a while, and we were talking, he was like, man, I just think this could be used as a 2. Like, it's a really good, and I agree. That thing going around is the fan above me, so I do apologize for that. It's hot crap in here, so just ignore that. But what this card does is when this card is special summoned, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 6 Samurai monster with a different attribute from every monster you control. If exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control and no other cards will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead, which is awesome because it does add some protection as well. Again, take it with a grain of salt. If you'd rather run this at 1, you could do so. But this is a really good card. So I think 2 is pretty good. I'm trying to move it over so that fan isn't like too terribly in the way. That just made it worse. I'm running 1 Hatsume. Hatsume is cool because you can banish 2 6 Samurai monsters in your graveyard and or face up from your field, and you target a 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard, except another copy of this card, then you special summon it. You only use this effect once per turn. And if then exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control, another card is destroyed by a card effect, you can, guess what, banish this card from your graveyard instead. And then also a Fuma. Fuma is neat because if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon a 6 Samurai monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, which is summoning from the deck is one of the most powerful effects in the entire game. And then the same thing, if a 6 Samurai monster, if it's exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control, another card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I'm running a great Shogun Scene. I hate this card, playing against it. Man, I really hate this card. If you control 2 or more 6 Samurai monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent can only activate 1 spell or trap card per turn. Each turn, excuse me, and if this card will be destroyed, you can destroy a face-up 6 Samurai monster you control instead. So he does lock in your opponent only 1, and if you have, I can't remember his name right now, but the synchro guy, he can just negate that 1. So this is cool. Shien's Advisor is kind of like a little tech, but it is really can lock out your opponent. Because if this card is normal summon while you control a 6 samurai monster, you declare one monster type. While this card is face up on the field, monsters that declared monster type cannot declare an attack or be special summoned, which can really lock out your opponent. Also running a legendary secret of the 6 samurai. What this one does is when you normal or special summon a secret 6 samurai monster or monsters, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. You only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can banish one level 4 or lower 6 samurai monster from the graveyard. Until the end of this turn, this card's attribute level and attack events become the same as the banished monsters. And then also lastly, a Shein Squire. During damage calculation in either player's turn, if a 6 samurai monster you control battles, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and the monster can't be destroyed by battle this turn. Most importantly, it is a tuner. So that's it for the monsters. Not running hand traps in this particular build. If you'd rather do that, there is definitely room. You could get rid of it. A Shinai maybe, Mizuho maybe bump that down, and then run some. Or if you'd rather find room elsewhere, you can do that. So for the spells, because search like all the time, 3 Call by the Grave is extremely crucial to being able to resolve your plays and get to them. Also, triple Shein Smoke Signal. This card is really good. It's a roto for level 3 lower 6 samurai because you literally just add a level 3 lower 6 samurai monster from your deck to your hand, and it's not a once per turn, not even a soft once per turn, which is really crazy. Next up, running triple Shein's Dojo. Absolutely hated this thing playing against it. What it does is each time a 6 samurai monster or monsters is normal or special summon, you place a Bushido counter on this card. You can send this card to the graveyard and special summon a 6 samurai or Shein effect monster from your main deck whose level is less than or equal to the number of Bushido counters on this card. And then also triple 6 samurai united. If you wanted to bump this down to 2, you could do so. This is also a continuous spell where each time a 6 samurai monster is normal or special summon, place a Bushido counter on this card, max 2. You can send this card to the graveyard and then draw a card for each Bushido counter on this card to get a lot of advantage off of this card very fast. Running 2 Temple of the 6 and a Terraforming. If you'd rather run triple Temple of the 6, that's fine. What Temple of the 6 does is the field spell of the deck. And each time a 6 samurai monster or monsters is normal or special summon, you place a Bushido counter on this card. And monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each Bushido counter on this card, which might not seem like a lot, but trust me, that adds up fast. And then also the Gateway of the 6, which you have Gateway, Temple, and Dojo, like that's basically infinite counters, and it's crazy to loot. Like you out there who are saying Gateway to 3, and you know who you are. I'm talking to you. Stop it. Get help. No. No. Gateway of the 6 is really crazy. Each time a 6 samurai monster or monsters is normal or special summon, you place 2 Bushido counters on this card. You can remove Bushido counters from your field, not just the card, your field, to activate these effects. 2 counters, you can target 6 samurai or Shein monster, effect monster, and that target gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. That's alright. If it's 4 counters, you add a 6 samurai monster from your deck to your hand. If it's 6 counters, you target a Shein effect monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Absolutely crazy. I have gotten infinite loop of these counters multiple times, and it was not good times. For me, I'm sure it was for my opponent. Also a Rhoda, because it is a warrior deck. A War Legacy Succession, because you do Link Summon, and it does help out quite a bit. And then also a Monster Reborn, because it's just a great card. So that is it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. For the extra deck, we're running one Rihan, I believe is how you say it. What he does is it's 3 6 samurai monsters with different attributes. Must first be special summoned from your extra deck by sending the above cards you control to the graveyard. You do not use polymerization. It cannot be used as fusion material. Once per turn, you can banish a 6 samurai card from your hand or face up field, and then target one card on the field and then banish it. Doesn't destroy it, banishes. And if a 6 samurai monster or monsters you control be destroyed by a battle or card effect, guess what? You can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So that is really cool. It does target, but it doesn't destroy. It gets past a lot of destruction, effects, protection, and just banishes, which is really cool. Running just 1 Exceed, number 60 Durgus the Timeless. This card just, gosh, it can help do so much. It can really help end games. 1 legendary 6 samurai Shein. If you want to run 2 of this one, this is fine. Once per turn during either player's turn, and when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, you negate the activation. If you do that, destroy the card. If this card will be destroyed, you can destroy another face-up 6 samurai monster you control instead. So if you have Great Shogun Sheen, I believe is the one that forces your opponent to only activate 1 spell or trap, then literally they can't do it because you just negate it. Also, running a Naturia Beast, just in case, a Herald of the Arclight, Draco Berserker of the Tenny, because I don't have, what's his name, Savage. I will in a week, as soon as, I just didn't get it because I knew the 10s were coming, and I'm glad I didn't because it dropped so much, so I'm running this as a placeholder for Savage until I get it, but this one's cool because it can literally just banish something too, which is nice. Moving on into the links, to Battle Shogun of the 6 Samurai, which is really crazy in this deck. Is 2 warrior monsters, including a 6 samurai monster. If this card is link summoned, you can discard a card and add a card from your deck to your hand that has an effect that places a Bushido counter or counters, which is insane. As literally any of those. Like, you can literally search out any piece that you need, which is really cool. And then you can only use the effect of Battle Shogun of 6 Samurai once per turn. Each time a 6 Samurai monster or monsters is normal or special summon to a zone, this card points to place a Bushido counter on this card, and this card gains 100 attack for each Bushido counter on your field. Also running the Zold, Two Tails of the Noble Knights, because it's a warrior deck, and this card is amazing because if it's link summon, you can just add any warrior monster from your deck to your hand. But then for the rest of the turn, you can't normal special summon or set that monster, basically. Also a Hauka Fibrax, because you do run some tuners as well. An IP, if you'd rather not run IP and run something else, you can do that. Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, Boral Sword, and then also Appaloosa. Yeah, so that's it for the deck. I do hope you enjoyed it. There's a few different ways you could run this. This is my build. My buddy Brandon plays this stuff all the time. It is fun times. There is, the Zexal Lock build of this, but that has really been watered down, because Numerons are like a $20 engine that tears out the crap out of Zexal. So the 6 Samurai Zexal build is not really quite as viable nearly anymore. But yeah, that's it for the deck, guys. It's not a very expensive deck to make. I think, I can't remember his name. What's his name? This guy, yeah, he's the most, Kazar, that's his name. He's like the most expensive one, I'm pretty sure. He's like $9. So yeah, y'all really should definitely give it a shot, and definitely do a 6 Samurai Noble Knights mashup. That's a lot of fun. Especially with the new Infer Noble Knights. I think that'd be a ton of fun as well. But let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what is your favorite warrior deck. There's a lot of them out there to choose from. Heroes, 6 Samurais, Noble Knights. Mine personally is Noble Knights, and maybe Infer Noble Knights, we'll see. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you're here and you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe. I'd absolutely love that. Hit the bell so you become a part of the notification team, so you get notifications for deck profiles, box openings, duels. I got a lot of stuff coming and can't wait for you guys to see it and share it with you guys. And if you watch this video and you liked it, hey, give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.